Indiana's 9th district spans from Greenwood south to the Indiana-Kentucky state line near Louisville. It includes all or part of some 13 counties, among these Monroe, Brown, Lawrence, Orange, and Johnson. Republican Trey Hollingsworth has represented the district since 2017. He's working to defend his seat this fall against Democrat Andy Ruff and Libertarian Tanya Millis. My colleague Mitch Legan recently sat down with each of the candidates, and he joins us now for more.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. For this year's election coverage, I reached out to each candidate to see if we'd be able to do, a sort of profile on them, follow them around the campaign trail, and see what it's like been running during a pandemic. Current 9th District Representative Trey Hollingsworth opted for a one-on-one interview just because of everything that's been upended by the coronavirus. Hollingsworth's hoping to win a third term in the House of Representatives. He's been making calls to a lot of voters and is knocking on doors across the district. He came to our studios this week, and he wants voters to know that in him, they have a representative who's working on their behalf. What achievements can you point to over the last 2 terms, as the representative for the 9th District?
First and foremost, what I heard every single day across our communities back in 2016 was economic opportunity. And we were able, through February, to be able to get to the greatest economy in generations, record low unemployment, higher wage growth than we'd seen before, businesses opening, hiring, expanding right here in the Hoosier State at record rates. These were things that I could hear every single day across the district that were making a difference in their lives. The question is, how fast can we get back to that? And that's exactly why I'm running again, to make sure that the economic opportunity that we were able to achieve, that will be something that we preserve going forward by getting back to that economy as quickly as possible.
Term limits have been a big thing for you.
Yes.
You've proposed 2 bills on them.
Yep.
Why do you think that term limits are important?
Gets back to exactly what we talked about before. What I hear from Hoosiers every single day as I'm knocking on their doors, as I'm talking to them at town halls, as I'm having meetings, is I don't feel like Washington represents me. I feel like Washington represents the career politician that's been there forever. I think they're working for their own careers and not working for the American people. The only answer to that is making sure that there are a limited number of terms that members can serve, so that they know they live by the same laws that they have passed, so that they have that alignment of interest between what they're going to see when they leave Congress and what everyday hardworking Americans see. I want to make sure that that comes to fruition. It is the biggest thing I live on, is the thing that I advocate more for, and frankly, as Gandhi said, I want to be the change I want to see in the world, and so I've made sure that I will serve no more than 4 terms as well.
A question that we've gotten from quite a few of our viewers and listeners would be, do you want the Affordable Care Act overturned?
The last thing I want to see is a Medicare for all, a socialization of the entire medical system. Ultimately, we don't want a system that rations care based on what the government thinks is best, but instead enables patients to be able to choose their own care, their own places for care, their own providers, and their own treatments. America has more cures than any other country around the world for various diseases. This is because of our system. When you go to France and enter that socialized medicine system, they have fewer cures than we do in America, fewer options for treating chronic diseases than we do right here. What I hear from Hoosiers every single day is they truly respect the great work that our biotech researchers right here at IU, at Pharma also do, but also making sure that they can go and see a wide variety of providers to get the care that they need, not be forced into a system that's one size fits all, that doesn't put their needs first, but puts government at first.
How do you think, the state of Indiana's government and the federal government overall, how have they done in handling this pandemic?
Well, it's a great question. I have been a big advocate for a realistic understanding, both of what the strategies are for mitigating transmission of the virus, but also where we are going long term with this virus. Way back in March, very early on this, I gave a radio interview where I said very clearly the idea that we are all going to sit in our basements forever and eventually the risk of coronavirus is going to be equal to 0 is misguided and untrue. And we have to deal with the reality of what we will be able to achieve even when we have a vaccine, even when we have antivirals, even when we have better treatment protocols, much of which we already have. But still yet, we are going to see infections. Still yet, we are going to see tragic outcomes because of this. And I hear Hoosiers every single day that say, gosh, I understand the risks of the virus, but I also understand the risks to my family of not being able to put food on the table. This is not going to 0 even after we have a vaccine, even after we've inoculated a vast number of Americans. Recognition of that is really important so that we're not moving the goalposts further away, but we have frank and honest conversations that are rooted in biological science, but also social sciences, aka economics, to ensure that we get to the right outcomes for Americans who are struggling with both of these things at the same time.